Okay, we're talking about the Snyder Cut, or Zack Snyder's Justice League, or Justice League the Snyder Cut, whatever you want to call it. Saw it the day it came out, so Thursday, the 18th, I believe. Got off work at 4 o'clock, got home by 4:30, started it up. 4 hours of pure joy. And obviously, everyone's talking about it. Everyone's. There's only so many times you can just hear, it's good. But before I actually talk about the goods, there's some not really negatives, but just things where I was like, huh? That I wanted to talk about. Just a couple things. And obviously, you're allowed to disagree with me if you want. It's fine. Don't really have to argue anything, but one, Martian Manhunter does not work in this movie because he has been a character who's been in the movie series since the beginning. Corporal or Commander, whatever, Lennox, he has been in since Man of Steel. And you're telling me now, after the battle, he's like, I'm willing to join you and I want to help. It's like, Man of Steel, General Zod literally about to destroy the world. Nothing. Batman vs. Superman. Doomsday. Nothing. Steppenwolf. Nothing. You finally kill them. Superman's, and he's knows Superman's dead and still did nothing. And then finally, yeah, I want to join your team. I was like, this doesn't fit. And also, him being Martha Kent talking to Lois, I was like, what? Why? This makes no sense at all. You should have just left it as Martha. I mean, it just felt kind of forced, and I was like, he just doesn't work for me. It looks cool. But there was no setup for this, so I was like, this feels out of place. And now, finding out that that ending scene wasn't supposed to be Martian Manhunter, it was supposed to be Green Lantern, I was like, makes more sense. It's kind of not an insult, but annoying to me that you're going to show Green Lantern fighting Darkseid, thousands of years ago, but you're not going to show Hal Jordan or John Stewart, Kilowog, whatever. And, I'm thinking, why? It would make sense to have Green Lantern. And even maybe he's only been Green Lantern for a year. Like, maybe. You could even say after Superman died, that's when he became Green Lantern. And then he shows up. You could have even had him show up at the last fight. I mean, somehow. I mean, they kind of shoehorn. They introduced all the other characters in Batman vs. Superman. So it just felt weird to me. But it's not really his fault. I know that it was like Warner Brothers wanted to do their own Green Lantern something, so they were like, no, you can't do it. So kind of on them. So that's my whole thing. I feel like Martian Manhunter should have just been left out of the movie. If anything, they should have put Shazam in the movie. My second complaint, nitpick, whatever you want to call it, at the very end, when, it's like the epilogue and you're seeing like, okay, this is the end, you see Commissioner Gordon turn on the bat signal, and then you see Batman in like a battlefield, it looks like a ruined battlefield, with the bat tank that he has in The Dark Knight Returns. And in The Dark Knight Returns, it's like, the chaos in the city and the mutant gang and stuff, so I was like, are they implying that that's what's happening? The mutant gang riots and stuff? Like, where the fuck is he? Why does he have the bat tank? Why is that even in there? To me, it just felt like fan service for fan service, which is, I guess, is okay, but I was just like, this is so out of place. It's weird. And then my third thing is the nightmare sequence in the epilogue should have either not even been in the movie, or it should have been in a different part of the movie, or it should have been in Batman vs. Superman. Because when you view Batman vs. Superman as a movie, you basically have no idea of anything about the characters. Anything you know about comic books? No. You're looking at it as a movie and what the movie tells you. It never once has even remotely shown the Flash or told you he can go back in time. So in Batman vs. Superman, when you see the Flash go back in time, people are going to be like, I don't understand what's going on. And when you see Bruce Wayne like wake up, you're like, okay, so is it a dream? Or is it that he's sharing the memories with Flash because of the Speed Force being open? I know that, but no, a casual moviegoer is not going to know that. So it's kind of like, you should have had that scene in that movie. Basically, the nightmare scene should have been that scene. With Darkseid killing them and everything. And then when Superman shows up and they're about to fight, you see Batman or whatever be like about to die maybe. And he's like, go back, stop this. And then you see the Flash run off. And then he shows up to Bruce and is like, Lois is the key. You gotta, help find us, blah, blah, blah. I feel like it would have worked a little better that way, but that was my main complaint, because the nightmare scene, as cool as it was, I was like, it really does nothing because you're kind of doing another fake out. So I was like, maybe we'll get a sequel. It doesn't seem like we're going to get a sequel, but who knows. But yeah, those were my main gripes. Besides that, okay, well, I guess there's one more. It's kind of slow to get going, but to be fair, it's building up the characters. So in a sense, obviously, they should have basically just made like each character their own movie, like Marvel, and then go to the team up. I don't mind it. There was only one scene where it's Aquaman leaves the village, and these girls are singing, and I was like, holy shit. Is this going to literally be like 20 fucking minutes because they're still singing? But besides that, no issues, I love that it focuses more on Cyborg and Flash. Actually tells you more about them, their character. Steppenwolf. Because my biggest problem with Steppenwolf in the original Justice League is that, once again, if you're just watching it in the movie perspective, you're like, what the fuck is he talking about? Because he's just like, mother. And you're like, huh? What? Boxes his mom? Who? What? But in this one, he's actually like, I'm in exile because I fucked up something. I gotta regain my honor. And he's talking to Desaad and Darkseid. And you're like, okay, it makes more sense now. And I do like that. They showed Desaad, they showed Darkseid, and a lot of this movie feels like that cartoon movie, which I guess was, New 52 Rebirth or whatever, Justice League War. They honestly should have done it like that because it takes heavily from that. People mistaking parademons for Batman, stuff like that. And that's how they could have introduced Green Lanterns. They could have had Green Lantern in Gotham City hunting for Batman because everyone's saying Batman is the one kidnapping people, but it's actually parademons. That would have been cool. But there's, obviously the inconsistency of Aquaman, because you watch the Aquaman movie, which takes place after Batman vs. Superman, or Justice League. But then there's things in Justice League that, they went more into detail with the Snyder Cut, but it still is like, his version of Aquaman does not align with the Aquaman movie, because the Aquaman movie is like, here's his origins, here's what happens. But in Zack Snyder's Justice League, Queen Mara's like, my dad's dead and blah blah blah, and Volko this and that, and you're like, wait a minute. And they say King Orm, and you're like, what? What's going on? So there's some inconsistency, but overall, you get the point. I do. Whether it would be fan service or not, I do wish, because the whole thing about Barry's dad killed his mom, blah, blah, blah. I wish Barry would have talked about that, and it's a flashback, just a small hint to the Flash movie or something, like Reverse Flash. Or even in the end of the movie, when he goes back in time to stop the Unity from happening, and he goes through the Speed Force, basically like he goes back in time. I thought it would be almost like the TV show where he shows memories of things to come and things that are, and so it's like the future, because the nightmare world is the future. It's not just, oh, here's what might happen. It is what happens, because when Cyborg brings back Superman, right before he does it, the Mother Box or the Kryptonian ship together is basically showing him the future if they bring back Superman, which is Aquaman gets killed, Wonder Woman gets killed, Darkseid takes over. Somehow Batman is at fault for Lois getting burnt to a crisp. Superman, becoming so emo, joins Darkseid and basically wipes out, I guess, the universe, the world, galaxy. And so it's Joker, Deathstroke, Queen Mara, Batman, Cyborg, and the Flash are in like this resistance team, and they look cool as fuck. But in my sense, I'm like, can we just get a Nightmare World movie? Like, come on. You know, things don't really have to be continuity anymore. Just do multiverse or whatever. Or do honestly, what I almost wanted was this Justice League movie for basically maybe the first hour, it be the Nightmare World, and then the Flash, they get fucked, and then Flash being like, I'm going back in time. Boom. So, because 4 hours is a long time, and I appreciate everything Zack Snyder did. This is definitely for the fans. You know, there's a lot of good shit in it. It is a little weird that Wonder Woman's song, which is like a, lady humming kind of singing, plays like repeatedly over and over again. And in some scenes it works really well, but in some scenes I was like, I don't know if that really works, but I mean, it's not the worst thing. It's better than hearing that the fucking her soundtrack from her movie, I think, and Batman vs Superman, where it's like, and it just replays that over and over again. You're like, oh my god, I get it. But yeah, I think it's Sunday. Maybe I'll find time to rewatch it today. I have all the animated movies, and I love them. I love like Justice League, Apocalypse War. I thought we were gonna get like that might be the intro basically, and then the Flash is like, oh, gotta go back in time, boom. But overall, solid movie. I wish it's like there's more I want to say, but there's really no reason to get. I know it's a 4-hour movie, but obviously most of it you can understand from seeing the original Justice League, but a lot of the stupid ass humor is gone. The stupid intro with those kids being like, Superman, me, gone. Right from the get-go, you're like, okay, damn, all right. Everything's just explained so much more. It's the same with the Batman vs Superman Ultimate Edition, where you watched it in theater and you're like, some things aren't adding up. And then they come out with the Ultimate Edition, you're like, damn, it's stupid that they couldn't just have added this in their original cut. But I guess it's also like Watchmen is basically any movie that can have an extended cut, for the most part, usually adds more to the story. It helps you understand it more. But yeah, and I don't know if it was out in theaters, but I saw it on HBO Max because I have HBO Max. But it's in that 4:3 ratio aspect, where there's like the black bars on the sides. It's a little weird. Not the biggest issue. I do hope when it comes out on Blu-ray, it's, I don't know. It's a little strange, but yeah, it's a good movie. It's a shame that that's basically the end, because WB's kind of an asshole. But there was a whole thing where he wanted Green Lanterns, Zack Snyder, but WB was like, nah, bitch. So they're making a Green Lantern series for HBO Max, which I'm very curious. Almost, I wish they'd get John Diggle from The Arrow to be Jon Stewart, because I'm like, he literally basically is Green Lantern at the series finale of Arrow. So it's like, come on, just pick his ass up and go put him there. But yeah, I think that's about it, obviously, the cinematography, it's just like his other movies, very stylized. I will say everything's very dark, and not like, it's dark. I mean, looking at it physically, the movie is dark. I watched it during the day, and I was kind of like, Jesus fuck. I mean, yeah, I know that Joss Whedon made the movie like real colorful and shit, and I didn't like that, but I was like, I'm seeing half of everyone's face, and they're like in the sunlight. So it's just a little weird that it's like they put a dark filter over it. Just, it was real noticeable in some scenes, and I get that that's his kind of movie, but okay, whatever. Soundtrack was good. It's rated R, definitely. I mean, they fucking, you see people getting chopped in half and decapitated and blood. There's all kinds of things. I think there's a little bit more cuss words, but yeah. I think, and Jared Leto's Joker. I almost forgot about that. I did not mind it. I honestly thought he's better as this weird apocalypse Joker. Not whatever he was in the Suicide Squad. That was just weird, but the banter between him and Batman, I'm like, why was there not a solo Batman movie with him and the fucking Jared Leto Joker? Damn. And also, this is just me. This isn't a nitpick. This is just something I wish they had added. You see Jason Todd's outfit with the haha jokes on you Batman, and then in this Justice League in the Nightmare world, obviously Joker makes a reference to how Batman shouldn't have sent a boy to do a man's job and how he killed him and stuff. I really had wished in the Nightmare world that Jason Todd as the Red Hood existed. To me, that would have been perfect. That whatever happens, I mean, they didn't even, because they didn't explain a lot. It would have been badass to see Red Hood team up with Joker, just as like a little twist. Like, what? If Joker, he was like, got someone I wanted you to meet. And then you see the Red Hood and you're like, the fuck? Oh shit, okay. I just thought that would have been a little neat. Red Hood, and then Green Lantern, shit like that. Perfect. And I remember initially watching this movie, I was like, well, where the fuck are the Green Lantern Corps? Why are they not helping? But then it makes you wonder, I'm like, you know what? Because I remember watching Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, when Darkseid single-handedly kills the Green Lantern Corps and blows up their power battery. So I was like, yeah, you know what? He's actually basically unstoppable. But he still pussied out and didn't want to fight the Justice League when the portal was open. So I'm curious on how that works. It's a little confusing because he didn't want to fight them right then, but then he was immediately like, we're going to invade them. I was like, what the fuck is the difference of you doing it right now through the portal than you waiting where they can recruit more heroes? Like, okay. Set up for a sequel that we probably won't get, but don't quote me on that because who the fuck knows anymore? We didn't think we'd get the Snyder Cut after begging for years and years, and yet here it is. So I guess that's going to be it for me. I enjoy the movie. The beginning can be a little, obviously tedious. Like, oh man, okay. But once everything gets going, I mean, yeah, I enjoyed it. Just pause the movie, go to the bathroom, get a snack, whatever, and just chill. So please tell me what you think about the movie. I'm not trying to sit here and say it's the second coming of fucking Jesus Christ, but it's good, It's much better than the original. It's an enjoyable movie to watch. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy it. Tell me about it in the comments if you want. If you want to tell me that it's a piece of shit movie, go ahead. But that's going to be it for me, and I'm out.